Hello, I welcome you all to TMF. I am Dr. Rajat Swami. In today's lecture, we will discuss ECG waveform formation in various leads. This lecture is most important lecture of ECG series and form the basis of ECG changes in various pathologic condition of conduction system of heart. In previous lecture, we have discussed how wave of depolarization travel through heart. In today's lecture, we will discuss about various ECG leads and waveform formation in each ECG lead. At the end of this lecture, you will be able to identify normal ECG instantly. Since human body contains fluid and electrolyte, so we are good conductor of this electrical current. This electrical activity of heart spread all across the body, and this electrical activity is picked up with help of ECG electrode. This ECG electrode can be placed anywhere over the body to record heart's electrical activity. These electrodes are like camera. They see the heart from different angle. Suppose camera 1 is watching heart from this angle, camera 2 is watching heart from this angle, camera 3 is watching this area of heart, camera 4 is focusing on this area of heart. This all electrode or camera watch same electrical activity of heart but from different angle. This camera is watching tail of electrical activity, this camera is watching head of electrical activity, and this camera is watching body of electrical activity. If we consider this end, head of wave of depolarization, and this is tail of wave of depolarization, this camera is watching tail of electrical current, this camera is watching movement of head of electrical current, and this camera is watching electrical activity from unique angle. Initially, this head is approaching this camera, and in later part, this head is moving away from this camera. When wave of depolarization move toward positive electrode, it inscribe a positive deflection. When wave of depolarization move away from positive electrode, it inscribe a negative deflection. But what will happen when this wave of depolarization will move perpendicular to this electrode? When wave of depolarization is approaching toward this electrode, it will inscribe a positive deflection. After reaching at this point, now this wave of depolarization will move away from this electrode and it will create a sharp negative deflection. So the electrode which is watching heart from this angle will record negative deflection since wave of depolarization is moving away from this electrode, and this electrode will inscribe positive deflection because wave of depolarization is moving toward this electrode. While this electrode is at unique position, it will record biphasic wave. Since wave of depolarization is moving perpendicular to this electrode, direction of ECG wave of repolarization will be similar to wave of depolarization. Since direction of charge is reversed, as we discussed in first lecture, during depolarization, sodium move into the cells, while during repolarization, potassium move out of cells. So direction of charge is reversed during repolarization. Head of wave of repolarization is negative charge, and when negative charge move toward positive electrode, it will inscribe negative deflection. When negative charge move away from positive electrode, it will inscribe positive deflection. Since wave of depolarization or negative charge is moving away from this electrode, it will inscribe positive deflection. This wave of repolarization is moving toward this positive electrode, so it will inscribe negative deflection. What will be the recording in this electrode which is perpendicular to this wave of repolarization and depolarization? This electrode will still record biphasic waves, but direction of deflection is reversed. When this wave of repolarization move toward this perpendicular electrode, since negative charge is moving toward positive electrode, it will inscribe negative deflection. After crossing this point, now negative charge moving away from positive electrode, and it will inscribe positive deflection. So during depolarization, positive deflection precedes negative deflection, while during repolarization, negative deflection precedes positive deflection. While in other two electrodes, the direction of depolarization and repolarization are same. We can easily apply this concept to entire heart. Since heart is a 3D organ, To get idea of 3D electrical activity of heart, we obtain 12 lead ECG, out of which 6 leads are limb leads and 6 leads are chest or precordial leads. Out of these six, Out of these 6 leads, 3 leads are standard leads or bipolar limb leads, and rest 3 leads are unipolar limb leads or augmented limb leads. Chest lead are also unipolar leads. Why these standard lead are called bipolar? They are bipolar since this lead have two pole. One is positive and other is negative. While rest three limb leads and chest leads are unipolar leads since they have only one pole, that is positive, and other end of this lead are made neutral automatically by ECG machine. To obtain these 6 limb leads, we require 4 electrodes. 2 electrodes are applied over arms and other 2 electrodes are applied over lower limbs. These all 4 electrodes form the basis of limb leads. These limb leads record electrical activity of heart in vertical plane. They record the electrical activity or electric current which moves right or left and move up and down. They do not record electrical activity in horizontal plane. Electrical activity in horizontal plane is recorded by chest lead or precordial leads. You will understand better by these examples. In the vertical plane, limb lead measure the current which move ups and down and right and left, while in horizontal plane, the movement of current which is front to back or back to front are recorded by chest leads. So chest or precordial leads record movement of current in horizontal plane, while limb leads measure movement of current in vertical plane. Now back to the limb leads. In previous lecture we have discussed way of depolarization of heart. Move from left to right and in downward direction. Since wave of depolarization move from SA node to AV node, then through Purkinje fibers, it depolarize ventricles and net vector of depolarization is leftward and downward. So right arm is made negative and left electrodes are made positive. ECG machine create lead 1 by making right arm negative and left arm positive. When we make right arm negative and left leg positive, lead second is created since current is moving downward from upward direction. So left leg will be positive and left arm will be negative, and third lead is created. A triangle is formed known as Enthoven's triangle. So lead 1 detect movement of wave of depolarization between right arm and left arm. Lead second detect movement between right arm and left leg, and lead third detect movement between left arm and left leg. So 4 electrodes which are applied, 2 to upper limb, 2 to lower limb, form the basis of formation of bipolar limb leads and augmented limb leads, which we will discuss soon. The fourth electrode, which is applied to right lower limb, act as reference point. Straight line between right arm and left arm known as axis of first limb. Straight line between right arm and left lower limb known as axis of second lead. Straight line between left arm and left lower limb known as axis of third lead. And together they form Enthoven's triangle. So together axes of these 3 limb leads constitute Enthoven's triangle. We can also rearrange lead 3 like this, and when we arrange these 3 lead into a circle, we can determine their angle of orientation. So angle of orientation of lead 1 is 0 degree, angle of orientation of lead second is 60 degree, while angle of orientation of lead third is 120 degree. It is shown here lead 1 measure electrical activity between right arm and left arm, and together this known as circuit of lead 1. Lead second measure electrical activity between right arm and left lower limb and form circuit of second lead. Lead third measure electrical activity between left arm and left lower limb and form circuit of lead third. So circuit of each lead is different term and axis of each lead is different term. I hope now you understand the difference between axis and circuit of leads. So all these three bipolar limb lead monitor electrical activity of heart at specific angle of orientation in frontal plane. That is, they record the current which is moving up and down or right and left direction. If we want to know specific angle of orientation for each lead, we draw a big circle and arrange lead in this circle. Since we all know vector for cardiac depolarization oriented downward and leftward, so downward angle of orientation will be positive and angle of orientation in upper half will be negative. Position of lead 1 will be at 0 degree, position of lead second is at 60 degree and position of limb third is at 120 degree. This all limb lead monitor electrical activity of heart in right to left and up to down direction. But we want to see electrical activity of heart from more angle. So we use 3 more lead. Among these 3 more lead, one lead view electrical activity of heart from below, second lead view electrical activity of heart from left upper corner, and third lead view electrical activity of heart from right upper corner. Angle of orientation of these lead are: for inferior lead or AVF lead is 90 degree, for AVL lead it is minus 30 degree, and for AVR lead it is minus 150 degree. And this system of angle of orientation of lead is known as triaxial reference system. These augmented limb lead are different from standard limb lead. Standard limb lead are bipolar limb lead, while augmented limb lead are unipolar limb lead. These unipolar limb lead are modified bipolar limb lead. In bipolar limb lead, there is two pole. One pole is positive and other pole is negative. Augmented unipolar limb lead are modified bipolar limb lead, positive and remains, while negative and is modified to convert it into zero potential. So in bipolar limb lead, there is reference against negative electrode, while in unipolar limb lead there is reference against zero potential. So this augmented limb lead, also known as null electrode, and this electrode and their angle of orientation automatically chosen by ECG machinery through pre-programming. That's why this lead also known as virtual electrode. As we discussed, these are unipolar limb lead and one end of this lead is positive. For AVL lead, left arm is made positive. For AVR lead, right arm is made positive. And for AVF, legs are made positive. And their negative end or terminal is converted into zero potential. And without augmentation, these leads are known as Wilson electrode or Wilson leads. Lead first, second, and third are lead of EV triangle, while VR, not AVR, VL, not AVL, and VF lead are known as Wilson leads. Since this VR, VL, and VF electrode record very low potential, these need to be amplified. This is done automatically by ECG machine. There is so much mathematics involved, and this mathematical solution is provided by Goldberger. So after amplification, these leads are known as AVR, AVL, and AVF. These leads now record amplified potential. So this is a brief description how augmented limb leads are made. Common negative end is modified by adding of resistance and combining them together. And modification to this circuit is provided by Goldberger and augmented leads were created. This diagram represents angle of orientation of each limb leads. Lead 1 is oriented at 0 degree, lead 2nd at 60 degree, AVF at 90 degree, lead 3rd at 120 degree, lead AVR record electrical activity at minus 150 degree, and lead AVL record electrical activity at minus 30 degree. This diagram represents orientation of limb leads in triaxial reference system, also known as hexaaxial reference system. This diagram represents attachment of electrode for ECG recording. There is color coding system for attaching electrode to patient limbs. If you pay attention, you will see lead 2nd, 3rd and AVF are watching inferior surface of heart. So these lead known as inferior leads. Lead 1 and lead 2nd have best view for left lateral surface of heart, and these leads are known as left lateral leads. AVR is only lead which view heart from right side. That's why it is called true right-sided limb lead. But we also want to record electrical activity of heart in horizontal plane. We measure electrical activity of heart in horizontal plane with help of chest lead or precordial leads. This diagram represents limb leads orientation in frontal plane. We have already discussed limb lead measure electrical activity of heart in frontal plane. That is, they record electrical current, or more precisely, component of wave of depolarization in right-left direction and up-down direction to measure electrical activity of heart or movement of component of wave of depolarization. In horizontal plane, 6 chest leads are used. These chest leads are also unipolar limb leads, but they are not augmented. One end of this unipolar limb lead is made positive and other end is made neutral or at zero potential. Like limb leads, these chest leads are also oriented at specific angle of orientation but in horizontal plane, and difference or angle between each chest lead is around 30 degree. ECG electrode for this chest lead is positioned at specific anatomical location. Lead V1 and V2 is positioned in fourth intercostal space. V1 is placed right side of sternum and V2 is placed left side of sternum. Lead V4 and V6 are placed in fifth intercostal space. V4 is placed in mid clavicular line and V6 is placed mid axillary line. V3 electrode is positioned between V2 and V4 and V5 electrode is positioned between V4 and V6. These diagrams represent complete picture of 12 ECG lead which measures same electrical activity of heart from different angle in frontal plane and in horizontal plane. We have already discussed lead 3, AVF and second are called inferior leads since this lead measure electrical activity of inferior surface of heart. Along with AVR, lead V1 view electrical activity of right side of heart from front also. Lead V1 and AVR are called right ventricular leads. AVL and lead V1 we have already discussed are left lateral leads. V5 and V6 lead also measure electrical activity of left ventricular wall. So V5, V6, lead 1 and AVL together constitute left lateral leads. Here you can clearly see lead V2, V3 and V4 measure electrical activity of anterior surface of heart. So these three leads also known as anterior leads. I want to bring your attention to few important points. Orientation of lead which we have discussed is anatomical orientation of lead. Functional orientation of lead is different from anatomical orientation of leads. Lead V3 and V4 variably lie over the septum depending on orientation of heart in body cavity, but electrical activity of septum is recorded by V1 and V2. As we discussed in first lecture, vector for septal depolarization is directed upward and rightward, and this movement of current is toward V1 and V2 electrode. So V1 V2 electrode will record positive deflection due to septal depolarization. But when major ventricular depolarization occur, the vector of depolarization immediately move toward downward and leftward direction, and this lead V1 and V2 now record negative deflection due to major ventricular depolarization. Within few minutes we will discuss ECG recording in each leads. It is important to recognize that each ECG electrode records only average current flow at any given moment. Due to depolarization of heart, there is multiple tiny currents moving in every direction. An ECG electrode record only instantaneous average of this electrical force. Simple analogy might help you. During course of football match, various member of team kick the ball in different direction, but average direction of player's kick is toward opponent net. Atrial depolarization starts at AV node, then it depolarizes right atrium first, followed by depolarization of left atrium, and this electrical activity at and fibrous annulus and atrioventricular wall. only electrical window between atria and ventricle is AV node, and through this AV node, electrical activity pass down to ventricle. Vector for atrial depolarization is directed rightward and downward, and normal range for atrial depolarization axis is between 0 degree to 70 degree. That means atrial depolarization vector may lie anywhere between 0 to 70 degree. So any electrode which view wave of atrial depolarization moving toward it will record positive deflection, and any electrode which view tail end of this wave of depolarization will record negative deflection, while the electrode which is perpendicular to this axis of wave of depolarization will record biphasic deflection. Now let's see recording of P wave in various ECG leads. This atrial vector is moving toward lead second, so second lead will record positive deflection. But amplitude for this P wave is smaller than QRS complex and generally less than 0.25 millivolt, and it occupies less than 3 small square. And duration of this P wave is around 0.1 second and occupied 2 to 3 small square in horizontal plane. So P wave is most positive in lead second. Lead V1, which is at angle of 0 degree, also record positive deflection for P wave but will smaller amplitude. Lead AVL, which is at position of minus 30 degree, will also record positive deflection but with smaller amplitude. Similarly, inferior lead will also record positive deflection. AVF present at 90 degree will also record positive deflection but with smaller amplitude. Lead 3 is at special position at 120 degree. Since axis of lead 3 is perpendicular to axis of atrial depolarization vector, so lead 3 lie almost perpendicular to depolarization vector. That's why it record biphasic deflection for P wave. Positive deflection represent right atrial depolarization, while negative deflection represent left atrial depolarization. But position of heart vary among different individual. If heart is present more leftward, third lead will record negative deflection, and if heart is positioned more rightward, this lead 3 will record positive deflection. Lead AVR at minus 150 degree is most rightward of all leads. It see all current moving away from it. So AVR will record pure negative deflection. In horizontal plane, lead V5 and V6 will record positive deflection since depolarization vector is moving toward these leads, and lead V1, which lie over right heart, is perpendicular to depolarization vector and will record biphasic deflection, just like lead 3. Recording of P wave in lead V2 to V4 is variable, mostly positive or biphasic. So we monitor P wave or atrial depolarization in lead second, where P wave is most positive. In lead V1, P wave is biphasic. In lead AVR, where P wave is negative. Although P wave is also biphasic in lead third, but it takes only few degree of change in vector of depolarization to turn biphasic wave into negative deflection or positive deflection. After depolarizing atria, from SA node, wave of depolarization enter into ventricle through AV node. AV node depolarization does not produce enough voltage to picked up by ECG, thus produce ECG silence, known as PR segment. PR segment along with P wave known as PR interval, and duration of normal PR interval is 0.12 to 0.20 second. So it takes around 3 to 5 small square. In other words, all depolarization activity of atria and AV node occur within one large square. After leaving AV node, electrical current enter into bundle of His, and bundle of His bifurcate into right bundle branch and left bundle branch. Left bundle branch give rise to septal fascicle. Septal fascicle depolarize interventricular septum in upward and rightward direction. Before ventricular depolarization is completed, major ventricular depolarization is started. Depolarization of right ventricle and left ventricle start almost at same time, but since left ventricle is much more bulky than right ventricle, vector of depolarization is directed toward leftward and downward before ventricular depolarization is completed. basal depolarization start and occur in the last, and vector for basal myocardium depolarization is directed toward rightward and upward. Depolarization of ventricle generate QRS complex. QRS complex is combination of more than one waves. It may contain one wave, two wave, three wave, or more than three wave. How we decide on which component of wave is positive and which component is negative? We compare it to isoelectric line. Since PR segment is subjected to various influence, it is not taken as isoelectric line, while ST segment, which represent time interval between completion of ventricular depolarization and start of ventricular repolarization, is most stable segment of ECG, and we take this segment as isoelectric line. Any component of ECG which is above this ST segment is considered positive deflection, and any component which is below this ST segment is considered negative deflection. Before discussing recording of QRS complex in various ECG lead, first we will see QRS nomenclature. We have briefly discussed about QRS nomenclature in first lecture. Let's quickly revise with few additional points. Large amplitude wave are represented in capital letter like Q, R and S wave. But how we will define large wave? Any wave which occupy more than 3 small square is large wave, and waves which occupy less than 3 small square are called small amplitude wave, and they are denoted in small letter Q, R and S wave. First positive deflection after PR interval is R wave and depend on its amplitude. It may be capital R wave or small r wave. First negative deflection after PR interval is Q wave, and first negative deflection after positive deflection is known as S wave. Second positive deflection is known as R dash wave or R prime. Again, if amplitude is small, it is small R wave or small R dash wave. If there is only positive deflection, it is known as R wave, and if there is only negative deflection, it is known as QS wave. So according to this nomenclature and concept, various patterns of QRS complex are seen. If three waves are present in QRS complex, it is known as triphasic QRS complex. If only two waves are present in QRS complex, it is known as biphasic QRS complex. First example is QRS complex. Since this amplitude is small, I have written it as small q. Second and third wave are biphasic wave. Both are QR complex, but they are different. In first example, Q wave is deep and this complex is QR wave, while in this example, Q wave is of small amplitude and this constitute QR complex. Similarly, if Q wave is deep and R wave is small, will be called as capital Q small r complex. R wave is large, S wave is also large, known as RS complex. R wave is large, S wave is small, known as R capital small s complex. R wave is small, S wave is large, known as small r capital S complex. Always remember, large deflection is generally produced by major ventricular depolarization. So major ventricular depolarization will produce large wave, whether it is Q wave, R wave or S wave. In contrast, septal and basal depolarization will produce only small deflection and produce small wave only. Septal depolarization can produce small Q wave or small R wave, while basal depolarization can produce small S wave. Let's move to last segment of this lecture, recording of QRS complex in various ECG lead. Again, wave of depolarization move from SA node to AV node. Through AV node enter into bundle of His. Bundle of His give rise to right bundle branch and left bundle branch. Right bundle branch give off septal vesicle, and septal vesicle first depolarize interventricular septum, and vector for septal depolarization is directed upward and rightward. So any lead which is facing head of this vector will record positive deflection, and leads from which vector is moving away will record negative deflection. And since this septal depolarization wave is moving away from left lateral leads, lead 1, AVL, lead V5 and V6 will record negative deflection on ECG. And since this septal depolarization is moving toward right leads, lead AVR will record positive deflection known as small R wave, and in left lateral leads, same electrical activity will produce small Q wave. In inferior lead, there is variable presentation for this septal depolarization. Lead V1 and V2 are facing head of this vector and will record positive deflection known as R wave. Like inferior lead, in lead V3 and V4, there is variable presentation for this septal depolarization. Sometimes small Q wave is seen in these leads due to septal depolarization. So we can see this is misconcept that septal depolarization can only produce Q wave. Septal depolarization can produce both wave, R wave and Q wave, depend on ECG electrode. Whether it is R wave or Q wave, amplitude for septal depolarization is typically less than 0.1 millivolt. Before septal depolarization is completed, major ventricular depolarization is started, and vector for ventricular depolarization is directed leftward and downward. Since this vector is moving toward left lateral leads, these leads will record large positive deflection and denoted as large R wave. So in this lead, if Q wave is present, is followed by large R wave. Inferior lead, mainly second and AVF, will also record positive deflection. This vector is moving toward this lead. As in case of P wave, lead third is present again perpendicular to this ventricular depolarization vector. That's why in majority of cases lead 3 will record biphasic deflection and depend on amplitude of each deflection. It may be RS wave or small RS wave or capital RS wave. So again there is misconception and cause of confusion that S wave is generated from basal depolarization. Same major ventricular depolarization produce both R wave and S wave. In lead third, this ventricular depolarization vector is moving away from lead AVR. So lead AVR will record large negative deflection known as S wave. So lead AVR may record RS wave, only negative deflection, QS wave or RSR prime. In case AVR lead also record basal depolarization. Since in case of basal depolarization, depolarization vector will be toward AVR lead and it will produce positive deflection just after ventricular depolarization. Now lens position of heart may vary among different individuals. It may be toward horizontal, it may be vertical and intermediate. Intermediate orientation is most common orientation. ECG pattern we discussed are concerned with this intermediate heart orientation. In case of horizontal heart orientation, major ventricular depolarization will be directed toward left and septal depolarization will be directed toward right. So, left lateral lead will record small negative deflection followed by large positive deflection, and inferior lead will record biphasic deflection, while right lead like AVR will record positive deflection followed by large negative deflection, RS wave. In contrast to intermediate orientation, lead third will now record large negative deflection for major ventricular depolarization and small positive deflection for septal depolarization. In case of vertical heart orientation, major ventricular depolarization will be directed downward and septal depolarization vector will be directed toward more upward and less rightward. Now R wave will be more positive in lead AVF and will be positive in third and lead second, while there is negative deflection in lead AVL. Deflection in lead first may be biphasic and may be negative. No matter what orientation of heart is, AVR lead will always record negative deflection. In case of horizontal heart orientation, lead 1 will record strong positive deflection. In case of vertical orientation, lead AVF will record strong positive deflection. And in case of intermediate heart orientation, which is of most common type, lead second will record most strong positive deflection. Now let's see recording of QRS complex in horizontal plane and concept of R wave progression. septal depolarization vector move toward lead V1 and V2. That's why septal depolarization in lead V1 and V2 produce positive amplitude, and amplitude in V2 is larger than V1. If this amplitude is smaller than 3 small square, it is R wave, and if more than 3 small square, it is capital R wave. Just before septal depolarization is completed, major ventricular depolarization is started, and depolarization vector move away from lead V1 and V2, resulting in large negative deflection in V1 and V2. And we know already wave for ventricular depolarization will be of large amplitude, and since formation of this wave occur after positive deflection, they are called large S wave. Under normal condition, amplitude of S wave is small in V2 compared to V1, and amplitude of R wave is large in V2 compared to V1. R wave in V1 and V2 is produced by septal depolarization, while S wave in V1 and V2 is produced by ventricular depolarization. Again, this septal depolarization wave is moving away from lead V6 and V5, so will produce negative deflection in V5 and V6 and will be called Q wave. Since major ventricular depolarization vector is moving toward lead V5 and V6, this lead will record large positive deflection, and amplitude of this R wave will be large in V5 compared to V6. Reason for this is position of electrode. Since V6 electrode is applied at mid-axillary line, there is lot of lung tissue between heart and lead V6, resulting in dampening of amplitude of V6. In some individual, due to anatomical variation in position of heart, amplitude of R wave may be large in V6 compared to V5. So you can see same electrical activity of major ventricular depolarization which produce large R wave in V5 and V6. Same electrical activity produce deep S wave in V1 and V2. Position of lead V3 and V4 is such that this wave of depolarization is perpendicular to one of these two leads. So major ventricular depolarization will cause biphasic wave in these leads. If V4 is perfectly perpendicular to this vector, then positive deflection will be almost equal to negative deflection, and if V3 is most perpendicular to this vector, then in lead V3, positive deflection will be almost equal to negative deflection. Here you can see same electrical activity of ventricular depolarization produce R wave and S wave in both leads. In lead V1 and V2, R wave is produced by septal depolarization, and in lead V5 and V6, Q wave is produced by septal depolarization. Amplitude of R wave is gradually increased from lead V1 to V5 and slightly decrease in V6. And this phenomena is known as R wave progression. R wave amplitude gradually increase from V1 to V5, and S wave amplitude gradually decrease from lead V1 to V6. So in lead V5 and V6, QRS complex is predominantly positive. In lead V1 and V2, QRS complex is predominantly negative. And in lead V3 and V4, QRS complex is biphasic. This normal R wave progression may be lost, may be increased or reversed. In various pathological conditions, we will discuss all these changes in chapter of ECG changes in heart enlargement and hypertrophy. Let's continue our discussion with QRS complex. One important point I forget to mention is lead V3 and V4, also known as transition zone. Since in zone of lead V3 and V4, QRS complex become predominantly negative to predominantly positive. Duration of QRS complex is 0.06 to 0.1 second. QRS complex is followed by ST segment, which is followed by ventricular repolarization. Ventricular repolarization takes place due to movement of potassium ion, while ventricular depolarization takes place due to movement of sodium ion into cells. Since movement of sodium ion is faster than movement of potassium ion, ventricular depolarization takes little time, while ventricular repolarization takes almost 0.1 to 0.25 seconds, and duration of entire QT interval is 0.40 to 0.44 seconds. QT interval in women is longer than men's. Duration of QT interval is variable and depend on the heart rate. At faster heart rate, QT interval decreased, while at slower heart rate, QT interval increased. Approximately 40% of cardiac cycle is devoted to QT interval. At higher heart rate, ventricle must repolarize faster to prepare for next contraction, while at slower heart rate, there is little urgency to repolarize and QT interval is prolonged. In condition where QT interval is prolonged too much, it provides enough time to sodium channel to flip back into resting state. And in resting state, sodium channel are excitable. I hope you are all aware that sodium channel exists in three states. One is resting state. When sodium channel are stimulated, they flip into active state, resulting in depolarization. And from active state, sodium channel cannot flip back into resting state. They must have to go through inactive state. In inactive state, no matter how strong stimulus is, it cannot depolarize heart muscles, which form the basis of refractory period. Refractory period again divided into absolute refractory period and relative refractory period. In absolute refractory period, almost all sodium channel exist in inactive state, while in relative refractory period, around 30 to 40% of sodium channel recovered and flip into resting state. When strong stimulus is applied, cardiac muscle can be depolarized and there is increased chance of development of arrhythmia or early after depolarization. Suppose cardiac muscle here at resting membrane potential. When impulse arrive at cardiac muscle, it raises the resting membrane potential to threshold potential due to opening or activation of sodium channel from resting state to active state. Soon sodium channel become inactive and remain inactivated for few time. Potassium channel open, resulting in movement of potassium out of cell, and few moments later voltage gated calcium channel also opens, resulting in entry of calcium inside the cell. And during this period sodium channel remain inactivated. With time there is recovery of sodium channel and they flip back into resting state from inactivated state. Soon calcium channel closed and more number of potassium channel open, resulting in more efflux of potassium out of cell, and there is fall in membrane potential. When the membrane potential again reach at level of threshold potential, it is prone to depolarization. But more than 70 to 80% sodium channel are still in inactivated state. So there is no entry of sodium into cell, but efflux of potassium continue and cardiac muscle repolarize. But due to any reason, if QT interval is prolonged, that means if duration of repolarization is prolonged, and this provide extra recovery time to sodium channel and more number of sodium channel pass into resting state. And in resting state, sodium channel are excitable when strong stimulus is applied or there is cardiogenic or non-cardiogenic insult to cardiac muscle. These resting sodium channel become activated and there is entry of sodium into cell and give rise to second depolarization. And it is named as early after depolarization. Since it occur early after depolarization, second variety is delayed after depolarization. We will discuss in detail about EAD and DAD in lecture of arrhythmia. Since EAD occur due to increased QT interval or increase in duration of repolarization, treatment of this variety of arrhythmia is decreased duration of repolarization by increasing the heart rate, and we increase the heart rate by giving injection of isoprenaline or pacing of heart. We will discuss ECG changes of arrhythmia and treatment of various arrhythmia in arrhythmia lecture. Let's continue our discussion on QT interval. Duration of QT interval is variable. There is various formula available for calculation of QT interval. One formula is corrected QT interval equal to QT divided by square root of RR interval, where all duration are in millisecond. Since this formula is cumbersome, other formula is 1.75 formula, That is corrected QT interval is equal to QT interval plus 1.75 into delta heart rate, where delta heart rate is heart rate of patient minus 60. T wave represent wave of repolarization and it is formed due to movement of potassium out of cardiac muscles. Since movement of potassium is slower than sodium, duration of T wave is longer than duration of QRS complex. Repolarization of cardiac muscles almost occurs simultaneously. Part of ventricle which depolarize last is generally first part to repolarize, and vector for cardiac repolarization is directed upward and rightward. During depolarization, there is movement of sodium inside the cell, which is moving toward positive electrode, while repolarization occurs due to movement of potassium out of cell. So there is negative current which is moving away from recording electrode. When negative current move toward positive electrode, it record negative deflection. When negative current move away from positive electrode will record positive deflection. So ECG electrode which record positive deflection during depolarization due to movement of positive wave of depolarization toward them. The same electrode will record positive deflection during repolarization since wave of repolarization is moving away from them. So in the ECG recording, electrode which detect positive QRS deflection will also record positive T wave. Amplitude of T wave is generally 1/3 to 2/3 of amplitude of R wave, and axis of T wave lie within 50 to 60 degree of axis of QRS complex. Axis of QRS complex is 0 to 90 degree and axis of P wave is 0 to 70 degree. We will discuss about this axis and right or left axis deviation in lecture of ventricular hypertrophy. That's all for today's lecture. Thank you.